so excited to be here. I accidentally went to Wyoming recently. I don't know if any of you are unsure about whether or not to go to Wyoming, but if you are, fucking don't. Specifically, I went to Laramie, Wyoming. Thank you. Yes. Exactly. All right. And if there are some of you who are like, why does that sound familiar? It's because that's where Matthew Shepard was murdered. This isn't a joke. That's just context. And I say that because, like, my black ass couldn't just go to Wyoming. You know, like, my gay black ass had to go to Laramie on beast mode, see if I can make it back. I flew into Laramie. To get to Laramie, you have to fly into a regional airport, which is a horror I was unfamiliar with up until this point. This airport was, like, roughly the size of this theater. I don't know. It's like they had a bus depot, and one day they were like, but what if we put planes here, Earl? And then Earl was like, I don't give a fuck. And the FAA was like, same! And that's how they got airports in Wyoming. I was not excited. I landed, and my friend was late picking me up, because she doesn't care if I live or die. And so I went to the waiting area, and, like, of course, they're playing Fox News, but the airport is small enough that they also left the remote there. Clutch. So I was flipping through, I found Pitch Perfect, I was like, all right, I could do way worse on a Saturday in Wyoming, you know? But then as I'm watching the movie, the lights start going down, right? And I was like, oh, I've seen that movie, and fuck no, right? That is not okay. So I look at one of the 3 people who work there. By the way, their names are Zach, Trent, and Brendan. You could tell them I said hello. But I was like, excuse me, dudes, what the fuck is happening with the lights? What is happening, right? And they were like, oh, this is an airport in Wyoming. We're closing. Pew, pew! And fun fact, that's actually just how they turn lights off in Wyoming. And so I was obviously perplexed, and they were like, you know what, don't worry about it. If you'd like, we can give you a ride into town. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, like, that's great. Like, that sounds like an excellent way for me to end up dead. Hard pass. And I was obviously, like, perplexed, and they were like, all right, alternative, right? Like, we can leave you here, and when your friend gets here, you guys can just lock up. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna die either way. Solid! Let's do this! So I took the ride into town, you know? I didn't want to die alone. And it ended up being fine, because we got out to Zach's car, and it turns out he drives a Mini Cooper. Yeah, I was relieved. Here's the thing, I don't care how big you are, if you drive a Mini Cooper, I can take you. That is the law. I was in Wyoming for the wedding of a white friend, obviously. We don't go to Wyoming. No, and if you don't believe me, by the way, she invited me to go camping beforehand. I know that's something that's very near and dear to your guys' culture or whatever. You guys seem to like camping. You guys like camping a little bit, yeah? Fuck camping. I mean it from the heart. I'm opposed to camping, but, like, on principle, all right? Like, number one, I pay rent. That's the thing. I wake up in the morning, I put on pants, I go to work so that I don't have to sleep the fuck outside. Big part of my life. I also don't like camping because I feel like it spits in the face of evolution. I think of, like, the earliest humans, right? Like, we're in our caves, we discover fire, we invent the wheel, we figure out farming. We figured out farming, we're like, holy shit, we can just stay here. And then we built shelters so we didn't have to sleep on the fucking ground. It's like how we got a frontal lobe, you guys. Right? And still white people are like, but what if we did? And fuck out of here, Karen, Jesus. I didn't go with them. I'm not a downer, all right? Take your Ashleys and your Sarahs, go out. Sorry, Ashleys and Sarahs here. It's fine. I took this Tempur-Pedic mattress that we sent astronauts to space for, called it a day. It was fine. Listen, the wedding was great. It was beautiful. They're very much in love. I care a lot, etc. But I made it back to the airport, and Zach recognized me the minute I walked in. Small airport. He was like, "Hey, Dom." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, we're best friends. Hey, Zach, how's it going?" And I gotta give Zach props. He's actually probably the hardest working person there. Because I walk in, he's at the United kiosk, which, by the way, is the only kiosk. But he's at the United kiosk. He's printing everybody's boarding passes. Cool. But when I get to the gate, he's also the person taking them back. All right. Finally, I get on the plane, sit down, look out the window. Zach's got the fucking flares to tell us that we could take off. Where the fuck are Trent and Brandon? What do they even do here? I was so confused. My name is Dom Gélin. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.